Greetings and welcome to this edition of
Positronic Hypersonic.
Positronic hypersonic.
Positronic hypersonic.
I'm Barry P. Cook, and I'm here to talk to you about Weapons, the new film that was just released yesterday. So let's get right into it. As the film starts, we learned via voiceover that at 2:17 a.m. on a night a couple of months ago in the town of Maybrook, Pennsylvania, 17 children from the same elementary school class simultaneously left their homes and vanished. Their teacher, Justine Gandy, arrived in the morning to find only one student, Alex Lilly, present. A police investigation was launched. Alex and Justine were interviewed, but no leads were found. In the aftermath, the school's principal, Marcus Miller, placed Justine on leave under pressure from the community, who believed she was involved in the children's disappearance. Depressed, she resorted to drinking and having casual sex with her ex-boyfriend, married police officer Paul Morgan. Later, concerned about Alex's well-being, Justine followed him home, where she noticed all the windows covered in newspaper and Alex's parents in a trance-like state. She told Marcus what she saw and insisted that he perform a wellness check. She then began experiencing nightmares about the missing children and about a strange woman. She revisited Alex's house, but fell asleep in her car outside, after which a woman exited the house and cut a lock of Justine's hair off. While that was happening, Archer Graff, the father of one of the missing children, struggled to cope with his son Matthew's disappearance and had similar nightmares to those of Justine. Frustrated by the ineffective police investigation, Archer decided to investigate himself. He discovered the children were running in the same general direction, but was unable to pinpoint a specific destination. Simultaneously, Paul had a run-in with local drug addict James after being poked by a needle in James's pocket during a search. He ordered James to leave Maybrook, and in a flashback, we see that it was because he feared the consequences if James filed a complaint, that Paul then broke his sobriety and had the one-night stand with Justine that I mentioned earlier. Following the assault by Paul, James broke into Alex's house, believing it to be abandoned. While ransacking the place, he encountered the missing children in the basement. He then went to the police station to report his findings in hopes of a cash reward, but Paul spotted him and gave chase. James fled into the woods, where he spotted the woman from Justine and Archer's nightmares. Paul caught up with James and drove to Alex's house at James' insistence, leaving James in the car while he entered. Hours later, James is dragged into the house by a possessed Paul. Marcus is visited at school by Alex's aunt, Gladys, in flashback, who claims that she is the family's caretaker after Alex's parents have fallen ill. Marcus insists he must meet with Alex's parents. Later, Gladys visits Marcus and his husband, Terry, at their home. She performs a ritual to possess Marcus, who kills Terry quite violently before pursuing Justine. In the midst of the confrontation between Archer and Justine at a gas station, Marcus attacked her. She drove away, and Marcus was then fatally struck by a car while chasing her. Justine and Archer put aside the differences and realized that the children were moving toward Alex's house. Flashbacks divulged that Alex and his parents welcomed the severely ill Gladys into their home because she's the kid's aunt. Alex noticed a strange potted tree in Gladys's room and then returns home from school one day to find a rejuvenated Gladys and his parents in a trance. Gladys ordered Alex to never tell anyone about her presence, threatening to kill his parents if he did. As her health began declining again, she ordered Alex to gather a personal item from each of his classmates so that she could sustain herself on them as well. Alex complied, hoping she'd leave once her health improved. The following night, she summoned the children to Alex's home. So, again, this was flashback. Justine and Archer enter Alex's house, where the possessed Paul and James attack them. Justine then fatally shoots both of them at different moments with Paul's gun. Meanwhile, Alex was pursued by his parents, and after escaping into Gladys's room, he copied the witchcraft ritual that he watched her perform before using a lock of her hair. Gladys's control over the children was then broken, and they escaped, chasing her through the neighborhood before eventually catching and dismembering her. Gladys's death broke the spell over the children, and Archer rushed to reunite with Matthew. A voiceover then stated that Alex moved in with another aunt after his parents were institutionalized, and that the children, left catatonic from their possession, were reunited with their parents, as well as that some of them eventually regained their ability to speak, and that's where the movie ended. So I wanted to see this movie right away when I first saw the full trailer because it looked very intriguing. And of course, if you've watched the channel regularly, you know that I love Julia Garner. She's just very talented. I was a little bummed out that she's not in the movie as much as I thought she was going to be in it because of the way the story unfolds in different sequences going over essentially the same period in time, just focusing on different characters, which of course means there is some overlap, which is fine. But I still really liked the movie. She's great in it. Josh Brolin is fantastic in it. I've heard that this part was originally going to go to Pedro Pascal, and I like Pedro Pascal, but I'm glad that it went to Josh Brolin because he did just such a good job that I can't imagine anyone else playing the part. So I'm really glad with the casting. Benedict Wong is in the movie as the principal, and he's really good. It was interesting because the only things I've seen him in were things where he spoke English, but with his natural accent. And in this, he speaks English with an American accent. So it was kind of interesting to see him doing an American accent. Because sometimes people who have an accent in English because it's not their first language can't lose that accent to speak English like an American. So it was weird seeing him do it. But also awesome because you believe that he's this American guy and not Wong from the Marvel Universe pretending to be a principal in this scenario. You believe he's a different guy. And he's gay, which, one assumes he isn't in the Marvel Universe, though he could be. Anyway, this movie had an M. Night Shyamalan energy to me, and I'm a huge fan of M. Night Shyamalan. I know not everybody likes all of his movies. One or two of them that he's done I have thought were not great, but I generally like his movies, and I like movies that sort of have the same energy, that emulate what he does. And so I really did like this movie. It's kind of a slow burn. That is to say, you wait an awful long time to see what actually is going on. It's being billed as a horror movie, and there are horror elements. And in the end, there are some scenes that are truly horrifying. But it's largely a thriller on the order of Prisoners from 2013, which is great. But I thought that it took a little bit too long to solve the mystery. There are some sequences that I think could have been taken out without affecting the narrative and without leaving like a hole in the story. It's 2 hours long, so it's not excessively long, but I think it would have been fine at an hour and 45, maybe even an hour 30, although that might have been pushing it. But I think they could have taken 15 to 20 to maybe even 30 minutes out of it that kind of make it a little too long before they get to the solving of the mystery. Like the sequences between Paul and the drug dealer guy, and for that matter, the part of the movie that shows the drug dealer's perspective. I don't think we needed as much of those two storylines that were in it, so it could have been shorter, but you do eventually get to the sick and twisted payoff, and the last 5 minutes of the movie are really terrifying right up until the spell is broken. So it really does make it all worth it. The only other sort of thing I didn't love is that the end is very abrupt. They chase the woman, they knock her down, they tear her apart, literally. The spell breaks and the movie's over. There's no cool down. And you're left with a very short voiceover that just says, Alex's folks were institutionalized, the kids were reunited with their parents, and some of them got their speech back. The end. So I thought that was a little abrupt given how long they took to get to the end and then how powerful the ending is. You think there's going to be a wrap up kind of cool down thing, but there isn't. And I thought that wasn't the best choice, but I really did like this movie. The performances are fantastic. The horror sequences are really awesome, especially right at the end. And it's just a really good movie. So I would recommend it. I'm saying 4 out of 5 stars on this one. So go check it out. It's a good movie. But that's really it. So I'm going to get out of here. I'll be back with another video soon. Until I return, I wish you peace and long life.